Howdy folks, it's Earl here and welcome back to Minecraft, my personal creative test world. And yes, there's another video. No, don't get used to it. Just because we've had 2 videos in like a week doesn't mean I'm going to start making a bunch of videos again. It's just timing, which I explained in my not recording any more video, and now I'm recording again. Anyway, yes, back in my beautiful, amazing creative test world, which I just want to look around this world instead of test things. It's amazingly beautiful. I guess I could redo the scene and start a personal world, but anyway, doesn't matter. Alright, here we go. What are we doing? Piano version 3.0. 2.0 I never recorded. It no longer exists because it was in this space and I had to start over because the issue was that I tried to do everything on one level. It didn't work. So anyway, 3.0, let me explain what we got. We have a piano, a full piano in air quotes, because these are all the notes it can do, starting from F sharp to F sharp, 2 octaves, right? There's 1 octave, there's 2 octaves. I left these black just so I could test them and see them quickly. When I implement this into another world, like a survival world, I will find more suitable textures for this, maybe even make my own texture so that these are invisible. You'd still have to know where to hit it, but they could be invisible maybe. Anyway, this is just a prototype, right? So we have a full working piano. It's piano sounds. You hit the lever. It's banjo sounds, and then you hit the lever over here, and it goes back to piano sounds, and it's working. I wanted to say some of it's over-engineered, but I don't think any of it's over-engineered. I think it's working exactly the way it best as it can. A few weird things. For example, here, this, even though this comes here and turns a corner, it does work on that piston. And I say it's weird because over here when I tried it, on these pistons, it didn't work. So I had to run separate wires on different levels to each piston. Sharing the wire did not work over here, even though it worked over there. So there's some nuance that I'm not understanding. It's not a bug, it's just there's some nuance, like the type of block around it or the being blocked on the side. I don't know. There's something going on. But anyway, it works. So this has 3 wires to reset it just for the black keys. It's just 1 wire over there to set it. Whatever. It works. I had to lower these things quite a bit. Come on. Way down into here for the wires there because if things are too close, it jumps up and does things here. So like I would hit a note and it would move a piston, and then I'd move pistons and they would play notes, and you get the idea. These 4 rogue keys are out here in the front, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way it works is you play piano because the note blocks are over dirt or air. In some cases, they're actually over air. But then you flip the switch over here, and it moves it to haystack, which changes it to banjo. Of course, when you move the switch, you want to move it back right away so that it can be pushed back later. So up and down moves it to banjo, and then up and down moves it back to piano. And then of course it's doing that for all of this. So this one switch takes care of like 4 or 5 rows of stuff because the piston only moves 12 blocks. So the black keys, it's 2 rows or 3 rows just for the black keys, and then that means it's 2 or 3 rows just for the white keys, and then 2 rows for these keys that stick out here. So what's that, like 7 rows or something? What do I got? I think I can even count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, I guess I have. I thought I had 7, but there's 6 rows, and they're all wired to single switches on each side with a bunch of repeaters, probably way more repeaters than I need. But there you go. It actually looks quite well organized. Now I have to replicate this in a survival world somehow. So I think what I would do is build the piano like this, although depending on the space I might extend it. Will it be on the playable notes? We'll see. And then like I said, I'm going to come up with an alternate texture here. Not sure I'm going to do yet, but I'll do something. But anyway, it'll be similar to this. I'll build it on top where I want it to be, and then I'll dig out whatever space this is. And then I'll just have to go back and forth between my world and a survivor world. And I think what I'll do is I'll just dig all the way down and just build a layer by layer. So start at the bottom, do whatever it says to do here, and then wire it up, do the next layer. Because if I try to do this without looking at something, I don't know if I can ever do this again. It didn't take me that long, but I don't think I could ever do this again. Especially because like over here, somewhere in here there's wires that are going way deep underground. Somewhere. I don't even know where because I covered them. But yeah, like over here, there's a whole wire system underground that goes out and around, and I think it comes back to this one. I think. I don't even know, because that one couldn't touch that one. I don't even know. Maybe it's this one. One of them. There's some crazy stuff going on underground that's covered. So I'm gonna have to figure all that out and replicate this in another world. So suddenly that feels way more daunting. Maybe I should just build from scratch again? No, that's a bad idea. Bad idea to build it from scratch. But if I'm very careful, I should be able to figure it out. So anyway, let's play it. I was going to see if there's a way to turn off effects but keep the note blocks on, or otherwise you get the clicking. And I'm not a fan of the clicking. Let me see what I can do. I did it! I figured it out. I turned block volume all the way down and note block all the way up, and look at, no more clicking. Of course, I don't want that normally because I want to hear, like, you know, walking around and stuff, which now I can't hear. But for music, I can turn off blocks and turn up no blocks. So, alright, this whole thing works. I'm going to actually go through and show you, which is also going to be my test. But it should be all piano now. Let's listen to this. And then if I fly over here and turn it on to banjo, which you don't hear because I have it turned down except sounds. Whoops, let's hear it again. Oh, there's one that didn't catch. And why was that? Oh, I just put a block in the wrong spot. Oh. Well, that's an easy fix. That's my fault. That's not a fault of the instrument. Whoops, of the instrument. There we go. Let's try it again. Obviously, it's going to work now. I was just one off in my thing. Okay, cool. Let me go over here. Actually, let's try some notes again, because I want to make sure the buttons didn't flip anything back. You know what I mean? So let's just see here. I'll stop talking. Actually, no, you don't need to hear this. I'll just quickly speed this up. Okay, so the buttons did not reset any pistons because I had that problem earlier where I would play and then it would move the pistons around as I played and change the sound as I played. It's kind of funny. So now if we go like this, move it back to piano. Again, you're not going to hear anything because I have blocks turned off. But let's play it one more time, make sure everything's piano. There you go. Now that I've fixed my one mistake, it's 100% working. And like I said, now I just got to figure out how to replicate it in a survival world. What a mess. What a mess. The hardest part to replicate will be the wiring. I can replicate the blocks easy. That's easy. But this wiring is going to be really interesting. Anyway. Alrighty, so we play a song? I played some songs in the other video. But now I have more notes. So I think I can play more songs. So let's give it a shot here. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'll play some of the same songs though, just because I know they work. There we go. Now I have another one I can play that I thought of. I'm trying to think, how did I play on piano all the time? I think it goes like this. There you go. Dance bacchanal. Yada yada da da yada da 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 da. Everybody's played it if you've been in high school band or orchestra. Alright, let's do some banjo tunes here. Let me think. Yay! I have like 10 songs floating in my head that would be great on banjo, but I can't pin any of them down. It's kind of annoying me actually that I can't think of anything. Alright, here's a song. Let's see if I can get this to work out. Where am I right now? Okay, I'm on the 2 keys. Okay, here we go. You recognize that song? You do? No, you don't. I made that up. I just made that up as I went. Let's end with the blues scale, and then we'll be done screwing around here. Maybe I'll keep the notes black, because they're hard to hit. Even, like, the black buttons on the black keys are actually hard to hit. So maybe I will keep them all black, and maybe make them white or stone there so I can see them. Anyway, there you go. That's piano, Minecraft piano version 3.0. I'm trying to like not hold something here in my hand. There we go. 3.0. There you go. Completely done. Completely works. Make sure you subscribe, notifications turned on so that you can look for it or look at it, watch it or something in the survival world. Because I do plan on replicating this. I just gotta take some time off because this was exhausting. Plus I've got other things to do. So when I have time, I will build this and take another video somewhere else. Until then, hopefully enjoying everything, and I'll see you next time.